there are only 4 back edges, that is 4, 1, 7, 2, 8, 5 and 8, 2. Now using this list of back edges and the resultant DFS tree, we are going to find out articulation point. So let us start calculating low of each vertex. Now low of each vertex is calculated as minimum of DFN of u, that is the depth first number of vertex itself, comma low of w, comma DFN of v. Now u is the current vertex for which we are calculating. W is a vertex which is a child of current vertex and u comma v is a back edge. The calculation will be more clear if we are going to calculate for each and every vertices. So in order to calculate low of pre-vertices, in a DFS tree there are in total 10 vertices. So we are going to prepare a table of 10 vertices. So let us start calculating this value from leaf vertices. Now what do we mean by leaf vertices or leaf nodes? Those nodes who doesn't have any child. That means vertex number 4, 9, 10 and 8 and 6. So let us start with vertex number 4. We are working for vertex 4. So low of 4 is equal to minimum of DFN of 4. That means depth first number of the vertex itself, comma its child's low number. Now this vertex is a leaf vertex, it doesn't have a child, that's why my second component inside minimum function will become dash line or nothing will be there at that place. Third component is a back edge which starts with vertex number 4. Now for that reason we have prepared back edge list. Are there any edge which starts with vertex number 4? Yes. The edge is 4, 1. So the last component we are going to write is depth first number of vertex number 1. So that will be substituted. DFN of vertex 4 is 4 and DFN of vertex 1 is 1. Minimum out of these two value is 1. So inside the table an entry is made. Now we will consider another leaf vertex, that is vertex number 6. Again same formula will be followed. For low of 6 is equal to minimum of DFN of 6, comma there are no child of 6, that's why dash, and third component is a back edge which starts at vertex number 6. Now look at into list of back edges. Is there any vertex which starts with vertex number 6? There are no back edges with vertex 6. So the third component here will also become dash. So DFN of 6 vertex is 8. That is equal to value 8 itself and its value entry will be made inside table. With the help of the same formula, let us quickly calculate low of remaining child leaf vertices. That is low of 8 is equal to DFN of 8, comma, no child is there, that's why dash. Are there any back edges which starts at vertex 8? Yes, from the list I get that there are two back edges which starts at vertex 8. Those edges are towards the vertex 5 and towards the vertex 2. So we will write DFN of 5 as well as DFN of 2 in our minimum function. So let us substitute these values. They are minimum of 10, 2 and 7, which is having minimum value as 2. Its equivalent entry will be made inside table. Next child is vertex number 9. So we will have DFN of 9, comma no child is there because it is a leaf node and there are no back edges which starts at vertex 9. So it will have value 5. The entry will be made. Now last leaf vertex is vertex number 10. So low of 10 is calculated as minimum of DFN of 10. There are no more child because it is a leaf and there is no back edge with vertex 10. So it will be having value as 6. and its equivalent entry will be made inside table. Now after completing this, we have to work for parent. Those parent will get worked whose child low is ready inside my table. Now as you can see, the vertex 3 is having 3 child, 4, 9 and 10 vertex whose low is ready, so I can start computing vertex number 3. But I cannot directly compute low of vertex 1 because vertex 1 is having vertex 2 as child whose low is still not present in a table. Likewise, I cannot calculate vertex 2 because it requires its child's low, that is vertex 3 and 5's low, which are still not present in table. So we are going to find out those vertices whose child is having low, which is having correct entry in this table. We will go in an order of 3, 5, 7, 5, 2 and at the last 1. Let us start with low of 3. Now 3's low is calculated as minimum of DFN of 3, comma its child low. There are 3 children of vertex 3, that is vertex 4, vertex 9 and vertex 10. All of these 3 vertices low has to be written over here, and there are no back edges at this location, so third component will be dashed. We will substitute these values from table and a graph itself. So out of these values, minimum will be 1. Its entry will be made inside table. Now next edge or next node that we will consider is 7. Now for 7, child is 8 vertex. So we will write minimum of DFN of 7, comma low of 8, that is low of child. And are there any back edges at 7? Yes. From the list of back edges, I can see that at 7 there is a back edge which is going to vertex number 2. So its DFN will be the third component inside my minimum function. So minimum out of 9, 2 and 2 is equal to 2. Now the entry will be made inside table. After this, we will complete or calculate for vertex number 5. This will be minimum of DFN of 5 itself. Vertex number 5 is having 2 children, that is vertex number 6 and vertex number 7. Now these two vertex low will be included inside this, and there is no back edge which starts from vertex 5. That I can check from list from back edges. So out of these values, minimum value will be 2 and its entry will be made inside table. The next vertex for which we are going to calculate is vertex number 2. So inside minimum function, we will write DFN of 2 followed by its children's low. There are 2 children, that is vertex number 3 and vertex number 5, and there is no back edge which starts from vertex 2. So out of these values, minimum value is 1. So it will be inserted inside a table. The last vertex for which we have to calculate is vertex number 1. So vertex number 1 is having DFN 1. It is having only one child, that is vertex number 2, and there is no back edge that starts from vertex number 1. So their third component will be dash. Now out of these two values, the least or minimum value is 1. So its entry is being made inside table. Now the table is ready. There comes 3 rules to identify articulation point. The very first rule says that no leaf nodes can be an articulation point. So there are leaf nodes, that is node number 4 which cannot be articulation point. Leaf 6 cannot be articulation point. Leaf 8 is also not an articulation point. Similarly for vertex number 9 and 10. They cannot be articulation point because they are the leaf nodes who doesn't have any further child. Rule number 2. Rule number 2 says that fruit has more than one child, then it will be an articulation point. Now in this case, our root vertex is vertex number 1 and it is having only one child, that is vertex number 2. So it cannot be articulation point, because to become into an articulation point, root must have more than one child. But here there is only one child, it cannot be articulation point. Now for the remaining nodes, which are parent node, they can be articulation point if DFN of parent is lesser than or equal to low of its child for at least any one child. If this condition remains true, we say that node is an articulation point. So let us start with node number 2. So node number 2 is having two child, vertex 3 and vertex 5. So DFN of 2 should be lesser than or equals to low of 3 and low of 5. So DFN of 2 is 2 and low of 3 is 1. That actually I am looking inside this table, low values. 2 is lesser than or equals to 1 and 2 is lesser than or is equal to 2, which is actually low of 5. Out of these two, the condition is fulfilled, that 2 is lesser than or equals to 2. But first condition is not fulfilled. At least one condition is fulfilled, then I say that that particular vertex or that particular node is an articulation point. Let us work for node number or vertex number 3. Vertex 3 is having 3 children. Vertex number 4, vertex number 9 and vertex number 10. So DFN number of vertex 3 should be lesser than or equals to low of any of its child. So it should be lesser than low of 4, it should be also lesser than low of 9 and it should be lesser than low of 10. Out of these three, if any one condition becomes true, we say that node 3 is an articulation point. So DFN of 3 is 3, low of 4 is 1, low of 9 is 5 and low of 10 is 6. So out of these two, the condition 3 lesser than or equals to 5 and 3 lesser than or equals to 6 becomes true. At least one condition becomes true, the node will become articulation point. Let us work for node 5, who is having children vertex 6 and vertex 7. So vertex 5's DFN should be lesser than or equals to low of 6 and low of 7. So 7 is lesser than or equals to 8 and 7 is lesser than or equals to 2. So first condition is satisfying and second condition is not satisfying. At least one condition is satisfied, we say that it is actually an articulation point. Let us look for last vertex, that is node number 7, whose child is only vertex number 8. So DFN of 7 should be lesser than or equals to low of 8. That is 9 is lesser than or is equal to 2, which is the only condition and it doesn't satisfy. So we say that vertex number 7 is not an articulation point. So from a graph, articulation point vertices are vertex 2, 3 and 5. That is the red highlighted vertices. If I delete any vertex out of these three, it will make my graph disconnected. Say for example, if I delete vertex number 2, it will make one portion as 1, 4, 9, 3 and 10 and another portion will connect or consisting of vertices 5, 6, 7 and 8. For your practice, an example is given of 8 vertices and some set of edges. Here your task is to identify articulation points in a given graph. Now let us see what do we mean by biconnected components of a graph. Biconnected component of a graph is actually subgraph which contains no articulation point. That means we have to generate subgraph from a given graph such a way that that subgraph doesn't include or generate any articulation point. Say for example, this is my given graph. From this graph, you know that there are two articulation points. That is a node which connects left part to right part. If it gets removed, it will disconnect my graph. Biconnected component here is a set of these three vertices and set of another three vertices. In this graph, there are three articulation points, that is 2, 3 and 5, using which we have to generate biconnected components. That means those subgraph which doesn't resemble or which doesn't include our articulation points. So let us start from vertex 1. If I add another vertex, it doesn't make my graph with an articulation point. If I add vertex number 3 and 4 in a graph, this subgraph is actually connected. And this from this subgraph, if I am going to remove any vertex, won't make remaining vertices disconnected. So there are no articulation point in this subgraph. Start with vertex number 3. Connect from 3 to 9 and from 3 to 10. That is, if I add 3 to 10 in a graph, it will make vertex number 3 as articulation point. So I cannot add vertex 10 with 3 in a same subgraph, for which I have to generate another or separate subgraph. Another subgraph is from 2, 5, 7 and 8. So this vertex or this subgraph is actually having 4 vertices which are strongly connected. Deleting any vertex out of these 4 won't make our graph disconnected. Now from vertex 5 to vertex 6 is also our biconnected component. The conclusion from biconnected component is that two different biconnected components should not have any common edge. If you observe carefully, from first biconnected component, an edge is 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4 and 1 to 4. Now out of all these 4 edges, there is no edge which is getting repeated in any of the remaining subgraphs. That is what the first statement says. An edge from 5 to 6 is only included in one subgraph, but it is not present in any of the remaining subgraph or remaining biconnected component. That is the first property of biconnected component. Second property is that says that two different biconnected components can have a common vertex. Say for example, biconnected component 3 and 9 with 3 and 10 is having common vertex 3. Likewise, biconnected component 2, 5, 7, 8 and biconnected component 5, 6 is having common edge 5. So that is okay that any two biconnected component is having common vertex. Third property says that a common vertex of any two biconnected component must be an articulation point in an original graph. Now, the common out of first two biconnected component is 2, which is actually an articulation point. Common out of 3, 9 and 9, 10 is 3, which is an articulation point. Common out of 2, 5, 7, 8 and 5, 6 is 5, which is an articulation point. So only those vertex which are getting repeated or which are getting included inside different biconnected component is actually an articulation point of our original graph. I hope this must be clear to you. Your practice, you have to find out the biconnected components of a given graph, for which you have already found articulation point as our last exercise. Thank you everyone for watching this video. This is Munira Topia signing out.